Want to get cheat sheets, audiobooks, lessons, apps, and much more every month for free?
Hi everybody, welcome back to English Topics. My name is Alicia, and today I'm joined again by...
Hi, I'm Davey.
Welcome back, Davey. And today we are going to be talking about famous American fast food restaurants. So I hope you're hungry. I'm slightly hungry. Let's discuss some things that maybe people outside the US haven't heard of before. Maybe you have, I don't know. I'm gonna start with one, probably the most obvious one today. I chose Taco Bell as my first one because I have a strong affinity. I have a strong connection to Taco Bell because when I was a high school student, it was like the cheapest thing you could get in terms of fast food restaurants.
Right.
They had a deal where it was like 3 tacos for $1 or something like that. Something extremely cheap because the idea of the food there is it's just a taco shell with like some questionable meat-like substance and a sprinkle of questionable cheese. Everything is questionable at Taco Bell. And then everything...
Yeah, that used to be their slogan, I think.
Everything's questionable at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Ding!
Yeah, and then they went for Run for the Border.
Right?
Has a better ring to it.
Aha! Run for the border of your digestive system.
Oh, Alicia!
So anyway, I chose Taco Bell because it was everything high school me and my high school friends, everything we loved. It was cheap and it was cheesy and it was meaty and you could eat a bunch of them and there was spicy sauce for the people who decided to be stupid and just try to wanted to make it as spicy as possible.
And your body could still take all those calories then.
Right, right. And now if I even look at a Gordita Supreme, I gain 15 pounds.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it anymore.
So Taco Bell, I chose Taco Bell for today because there's a special place in my heart for the special food you can find at Taco Bell.
I understand. All of mine are in the same sort of category.
Yeah?
I don't really like fast food, and I've never really eaten a lot of it, but there are a few fast food places that I really have a soft spot for.
Okay.
And so my first one is one of those, and it's Sonic. And this is a regional one. This is not all across the country. It's pretty limited to the south, to the southern states, and then I think maybe a few other states. Maybe there's one in Arizona or somewhere. I don't know. But where I grew up, I grew up in a Sonic state. We had Sonic. And it's a drive-in. It's an old-style drive-in where you drive up and park your car and reach out and push the button and then give your order, and they'll come out and bring you your food. And some of them, they would even come out on roller skates, like the old school, 50s era kind of diners. But most of them, they just come out in sneakers. But you go in and get like a milkshake and a burger. And when I go home, when I go to my hometown and visit my family, I'll oftentimes pop into Sonic and get a hamburger because I have a soft spot for them. They're good.
Yeah, I think a lot of the stuff we're going to talk about today has like a strong nostalgia factor about it for sure. But drive-ins are rare.
They are.
I mean, drive-ins were rare 20 years ago.
They are rare.
So I wonder how many Sonics have converted to just being a plain old fast food restaurant.
I don't know. I mean, most of the Sonics in my hometown, I can think of 4 or 5 or 6, and I think they're all still drive-ins.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, but I will say, this really drove me nuts. When I moved away from my hometown when I was 18, I moved across the country. I moved to Washington State, and I don't think there's any Sonics in Washington State, but they would have TV commercials, and it drove me nuts because I would see the commercials and I wanted to go to Sonic, and I couldn't go to Sonic.
Ah.
But I like Sonic.
I see. That's a problem. That's a dilemma.
It is a problem. It's been a long time since I've had a Sonic burger.
Sonic dilemma. All right. Great. All right, let's move on to another one that was actually also a drive-through.
Yes, A&W.
A&W, yeah.
Good.
A&W, depending on the location you went to, it was, some of them were drive-throughs, or rather, not drive-throughs, drive-ups?
Drive-ins.
Drive-throughs? Drive-ins, that's
Drive-ins.
it. Sorry, drive-ins. Oh my gosh. Drive-ins, yeah. So you would, as you said, drive your car up there and then you would order and somebody would bring it out to the car. But the thing that was most famous, arguably, about A&W was A&W's root beer floats.
Oh, delicious.
Yep. She's like,
So
yeah.
good.
Root beer, though, is one of those things that people either love or they hate. I understand that in the UK, root beer is like a flavor of toothpaste.
Yeah.
So people really don't like it.
I think a lot of people outside of North America the U.S. in particular, don't like root beer.
I think so.
It's delicious. I love root beer.
So if you don't know, a root beer float is root beer. It's a sweet, how would you even describe the flavor of root beer?
Sweet, but a bit bitter.
There's a little bitterness
like
and carbonated. It's a soda. It's a sweet carbonated soda with a little bit of bitterness. But a root beer float is that soda with vanilla ice cream put inside. So it's a dessert. It's a treat. And A&W's perhaps most famous item on their menu is the root beer float. Of course, you can make your own root beer float at home, however you like. But this was kind of their item, their must-get item, I think. So A&W has a special place for me for that, the root beer float. Yep.
And a key feature of the drive-in. So the drive-in as opposed to the drive-through. Drive-through, you drive through, you place your order, you get your food into your car, and then you drive away. But a drive-in, you park your car, they bring you your food, and then you sit in your car and eat it. I guess you could drive away.
You could drive away, I suppose. Though some of them, I think the really old-fashioned ones, they'd put a tray on the window of your
Sonic
car.
does that. Sonic does that.
Oh yeah. Yep. And the wait staff would be like on roller skates. The old ones. Great. All right. Next one.
Yeah, my next one is also another nostalgic one from my hometown in Tennessee, which was Crystal. Crystal, I'm pretty sure, is the same as White Castle. But in some parts of the U.S., it's White Castle, but where I grew up, we had Crystal. And so they're famous for being really cheap, but they'll give little sliders, small little steamed hamburgers or steamed buns that are quite small. I mean, you can eat 3 or 4 or 5. Maybe 3 of them is the same size as one hamburger at Sonic or Burger King or something like that. So it's good if you just want to nibble, you know. If you and your friend drive through Crystal, drive through, and you don't want a whole meal, you can just get one little slider, and it's good for a snack. And they also had like spicy chicken sandwich sliders that I loved.
Sounds good.
And there was one really close to my high school, and so sometimes after school I would go to Crystal, get some sliders.
Crystal, yeah, I have no idea, but when you said White Castle, I knew it.
I'm pretty sure I think it might be the same company. The menu's the same.
Okay.
But I haven't been to that many White Castles.
Yeah, we didn't have a White Castle in my town when I was growing up, and so I didn't really go to that one. But there was a really famous movie about a couple guys trying to get sliders at White Castle. What was it? Harold and Kumar go to White Castle? Yeah, that was it. It was just a story about a couple guys who, in the middle of the night, decide to go to White Castle to try to get sliders.
Yep. And as unhealthy as they are for you, that movie is testament to how good they are.
Yeah.
They're tasty.
Yep. It's just one of those little craving foods. All right. Good. I'll go to my next one. I don't know if you could really call this a fast food place, but it's sort of one of those locations that I liked to visit from time to time, and it made me feel like I was making a somewhat healthy choice, I guess. The place is called Jamba Juice. Jamba Juice doesn't really do burgers or fries or anything fried at all. Actually, this is a place that does smoothies, and I think maybe they did milkshakes as well, or like frozen yogurts. Everything was drinks, really. So you could sort of make your own smoothie. You could put the fruit you liked, or maybe yogurt you liked, or a vitamin or something like that. You could put it all in a blender and the staff would make it for you, and you'd walk out with a styrofoam cup, hilariously. You'd get this big styrofoam cup to enjoy your Jamba Juice in. But Jamba Juice is, I think they kind of pitch it as a sort of healthy option, but they're just these massive smoothies that you can, I don't know, use as like a breakfast replacement if you like. So they tended to be a little more popular among people who were perhaps more health conscious. So they were trying to, I think, market themselves as being a bit more, friendly to the body than some of the other chains were. Yeah.
Better for you than a Crystal burger, for sure.
What's your last one?
My last one, again, on the nostalgia train is Dick's, which is local. It's a local fast food place in Seattle. So I lived in Seattle for a number of years. It's kind of my second hometown. I lived there for more than 10 years. And there is a local chain, fast food chain called Dick's Burgers. And they are delicious. And I think a couple of them might be drive-ins, actually, but the one that I always went to in the neighborhood where I lived was not a drive-in. You would go in. But they're phenomenally cheap And the way that they're so cheap is everything's small, like small burgers, so you can actually get a couple of them. You could eat a couple and that's kind of equal to one hamburger. They're bigger than sliders, small fries, milkshakes, but they would charge you for ketchup and mustard. They charge you 5 cents, a nickel, for a little paper cup full of ketchup and mustard. And the burgers were like $1.10 or something like that.
Wow, that's really cheap.
So very cheap. And again, if you weren't starving, if you just wanted kind of a quick bite in the afternoon, a quick, artery clogging bite, you could go in and get like a Dick's burger. And they didn't have sets. You go into fast food places now and everything's
It's a combo.
Combo. They didn't do combos. They had burgers, fries, sodas, and milkshakes, and that was it. And you would just say, I want one of that and one of those and one of those.
I see. So it's like a build your own combo sort of thing. That sounds good.
Very,
I want to try
very good.
that.
They're very delicious. And they were open really late too. You could go at midnight or 1 in the morning and get a burger.
Yeah, I feel like the burger concept has really evolved over time. So something like that. And then there's been this very like traditional, everybody knows, McDonald's and Burger King. Then I think maybe 10 years ago or so, what was popular was In-N-Out Burger.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because In-N-Out has a very limited number of burgers available on the menu, but then there was supposedly like this secret menu.
There is a secret menu.
Right?
Yeah.
You had to know, like you had to ask for something special if you wanted to get it from the secret menu. But that was supposed to be a really good burger chain. And now there's one which I haven't been to, Five Guys.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know anything about Five Guys, but I've heard that it's really, really good.
Yeah, I think I went to one a few years ago. I don't remember where.
So it seems like burgers, the brand of burger seems to continue evolving. So there's like these places that offer small burgers, that offer like build your own burgers. Though I feel burritos and Mexican food are quickly like, maybe I shouldn't say this because I don't really know like what the current situation in the U.S. is now, but I feel like there are a lot more burrito places that are doing similar things that burger places were in the past. By that I mean like making your own. So now there's like what's it called? Like Taco del Sol, I think, in the States. And then there's Chipotle as well. So it's like these places where you
Taco Del Mar.
Taco Del Mar, that's it. So they're like these places that are kind of introducing, more options than just Taco Bell and Burger King.
Right.
But that are kind of branching out to, well, what do you actually like?
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know what my point was with that.
Well, I don't know either, but I'm hungry now.
I'm hungry now too, actually. Anyway.
Well, can't get any of those.
No, that sounds good. Time to go home and make some sliders, I guess. Sounds good. All right, so those are a few famous American fast food chains, or famous perhaps North American fast food chains. If there are other fast food chains that you know of in the US that you really liked or you really hated, let us know in the comments. If there's a fast food chain from your country too that you think is interesting and that people should know about, let us know about that too. Thanks very much for watching this episode of English Topics. If you liked the video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, come check us out at EnglishClass101.com for other stuff like culture points and maybe some other discussions about maybe US culture as well. Thanks very much for watching us this time, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye. I thought that was a stop, there's a sound. Okay.